The ink was still drying on the $12 million contract in Zurich when my phone buzzed. A missed call. Then another. Then a message from a friend back home. "Why is your car sitting outside a pawn shop?" I thought it was a mistake. It wasn't. When I landed 2 days later, my driveway was empty. My car, my first real purchase after years of clawing my way out of nothing, was gone. At dinner, my mother said it like she was offering me tea. She needed it more, meaning my sister, meaning my car had been traded for her failing business. I set down my fork. My voice was calm, my pulse steady. I looked my mother in the eyes and said 6 words. That was the last free thing. Her face fell. You see, I wasn't born into wealth. I built it, piece by bloody piece. Late nights, missed meals, deals where I was the smallest player in the room, dismissed before I opened my mouth. And yet, I rose. By 29, I was closing contracts in Europe that most firms never touched. But to my parents, none of it mattered. I was still the child they could raid, the wallet they could reach for without asking. My sister was always their golden one. Every failure forgiven, every debt erased. And me, I was the insurance policy. It wasn't the car itself. I could buy 10 more before breakfast. It was the entitlement, the audacity to steal from me while congratulating me for my success. They hadn't even tried to hide it. The pawn slip was still sitting on the counter when I walked in, signed by my father, for cash that went straight into my sister's second boutique, the one after the first collapsed under debt she never paid back. And when I confronted them, my mother had the gall to smile, as if betrayal was parenting. She's family. Family helps each other. In the past, I might have exploded, shouted, demanded repayment I'd never see. But rage is wasteful, and they'd mistake it for love. So I didn't rage. I planned. Step 1, information. I pulled my sister's credit, quietly. She was drowning. Loans, defaults, suppliers she hadn't paid in months. Her business wasn't a boutique. It was a corpse dressed in silk. Step 2, leverage. I bought the debt. All of it. Every overdue loan. Every angry supplier's invoice. By the end of the week, I owned her failure. Step 3, the stage. The family reunion was already set. Perfect. We were gathered around the long oak table, wine glasses clinking, laughter too loud. They toasted me for my success. My sister beamed as if my work was hers. Then my mother leaned close, lowered her voice, and asked, "So, can you cover the expansion? Just $200,000 to get her stable." I smiled, set down my glass, then slid a folder across the table. Inside, the debt contracts. Every unpaid cent. All now under my name. My sister's face drained of color. My father blinked, confused. My mother's hand trembled on the glass. "You wanted me to fund her?" I said softly. "I already did." They didn't understand. Not yet. So I explained. Calm, precise, each word a blade. She doesn't owe strangers anymore. She owes me. Every cent. Every interest charge. Every late fee. My sister sputtered. "You can't do this." I leaned back. I already did. My father's voice cracked. "This is family business." I met his eyes. Cold. "No. This is my business. You made it that way when you pawned my car." My mother whispered my name like a prayer. But prayers don't work on someone who's already been sacrificed. "You wanted to treat me like a bank," I said. "Now you'll deal with me like one." The silence was thick. My sister reached for the folder with shaking hands, flipping through pages that spelled out her ruin, her boutique, her accounts, her future, tied to me. And I took another sip of wine. "Remember," I said quietly, That was the last free thing. They thought my success made me soft. They thought blood would bind me, guilt would chain me, love would blind me. But success hadn't softened me, it had sharpened me. When they pawned my car, they weren't just stealing a vehicle. They were betting I was still the desperate child they could use. They lost that bet, because I'm not their safety net anymore. I'm the consequence, and the consequence doesn't forgive. It collects.